Do you want to start an e-commerce business and make $250,000 doing that? Well, Pooch Selfie just hit that goal and became a household name when it comes to taking pictures of your dog. On this episode, we are interviewing the founder of Pooch Selfie, who grew the company from $150,000 to $250,000 in 2021, while only investing $8,000 of his own money.
30 days later, we had just under $40,000 of funding. It's the easiest way for anybody with a product to really get out there and start building your brand.
Now, after selling successfully online, they got featured on Season 10 ABC's Shark Tank and landed the deal with Daymond John. What was the result for you after you got the deal? How much did Daymond invest, or what was it? What can you tell us? Today, he's going to share with you how to start a brand of your own and leverage Kickstarter to do it. He'll also talk about how to find suppliers, how long it took for him to hit Shark Tank, and how difficult it is to get featured there. So you guys, without further ado, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and let's go meet the man. All right, you guys, we are here with Jason, owner for Pooch Selfie. Jason, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got this idea for Pooch Selfie.
Well, I'm actually a mechanical engineer by school and trade. I started as an application engineer in a company, and I was always thinking of other people's ideas. Pooch Selfie itself is really just a backyard invention.
Just how it happened.
One day, my wife was trying to physically take a picture with our dog Logan, who is basically the creator of it.
Nice.
And I said, okay, well, he likes his tennis ball. He doesn't like pictures, and I pulled the two together and made a product that helps me get what I want and him get what he wants.
That's awesome, and it worked. So we're going to show you guys how this product actually works, what we need to do, and let's see it up close.
Sure.
Look at this dog. He's lock and loaded. He's waiting for the ball.
So Logan loves the tennis ball. You can squeak it a couple times, you can get their attention. But it really is super simple. You just attach it to the top of your phone and he's already locked and loaded.
Logan, you want a selfie? Look, he's not even moving.
That's a good one. There you go. He's in there.
Nice.
You can actually also turn it around. It helps you take really great portraits of your dog.
I mean, it's hard to keep a dog still, right?
And then when he's all done,
nice. So Jason, tell us about your Kickstarter experience and how did you promote it?
Yeah, so in the fall of 2015, I actually started a Kickstarter, and I went on with a very modest ask. I went for about $7,000.
That's it, okay.
Just to cover the tooling to get my injection molding covered, and I could start making some parts. I remember I spent countless nights trying to put together the actual marketing side of that, which is everything that the backers would see. And I put it on, and I heard stories that people would go to sleep and would wake up and they would be funded. Didn't happen. I had 6 of the worst nights of sleep I've ever had. But on the 7th day, my phone just started to go crazy. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Interesting.
And apparently there was somebody from BuzzFeed who would look at Kickstarters for really crazy ideas, caught mine, put a story out there, and it just exploded.
Just
and
with one individual.
Just one person, and story after story is written off of that as being this crazy novelty item. And we were funded in 3 days after that.
Wow.
Once the Kickstarter was over, 30 days later, we had just under $40,000 of funding.
Where are the sales? So let's look at e-commerce and then any retail brick and mortar stores. Where are you selling your product?
So we're really heavy on e-commerce. I want to say that about 80% of what we do today is e-commerce through Amazon, Walmart.com, Chewy.
Okay.
From the brick and mortar perspective, we're actually building that up with some of my partnerships with Shark Tank. So this year we're looking to, we're testing in Petco right now, about 300 stores with the opportunity to get into 2,000 nationwide. We did very, very well as a seasonal item at Nordstrom. And we'll be looking to do a permanent placement this year, probably looking towards the fall and entering into the Christmas season again.
Gotcha. And you mentioned something to me off camera. Can you mention that in terms of what the product is, like on my way out of the store, right? I don't find it.
So yes. So Pooch Selfie really is an impulse buy item, right? It does tremendously well by the register. You see it, you register what it is, and you're a quick, I want to buy that, or I know somebody who I can buy that for.
And $10 is not a lot to spend on a dog.
Not a lot at all. I think I said off camera, I spent twice as much for dumber things in my life for my own dog. So.
Nice. Let's go back to Shark Tank one more time, and in terms of like difficulty, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? Anything else about the process that you think our viewers would be really fun to know?
I mean, the entire experience you just can't explain. It's definitely a 10 for me. I would do it again in a heartbeat. The expectation of what you think is going to happen is never what happens. Step one, record yourself, right? Because you're going to be on national television. You have to be able to convey your personality in a very streamlined manner.
What was the result for you after you got the deal? How much did Daymond invest, or what was it? What can you tell us?
So I can tell you a little bit, but I can't tell you everything.
Okay.
Right? So while I can say, yes, I did sign with Daymond John's company as a partner, I can't tell you exactly how much that was for, but that we are mutually invested.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I think that if you're looking to get on Shark Tank, I think you have to do your homework. One of the missteps that I didn't, that I wish I would have went back and changed was finding how to connect with the sharks when you're finally on that big stage, right? Because you don't get any pre-meet and greet time. What you see is what you get. And so if you don't have a plan on who to pitch and who you're targeting, you could fall apart. I just completely blanked on my numbers and had an opportunity to recover. And it made for a very great segment, which actually got to air. So
wow.
Everything happens for a reason.
How did year one look, and walk us through that evolution in terms of the increase of e-commerce sales?
The very first year, 2016, our first full year of being in business, we were at $99,000 out of the gate. And I was like, wow, this is really taking off.
All of it from online?
All of it from online.
Okay.
Got a big order from Bed Bath & Beyond. At that time, it was huge. So we did, I want to say 198,000 in that second year. And then each year after that, we were really pushing on that 200 mark. I think we had to adjust our price because the market required a different price point. And that tiered us off, but we're still up about 212, I want to say, for that third year. And then, you get into the COVID year and stuff drops off like very quickly. And we're going to get into, some of these major through points again. And this, I think we're scheduled to have the biggest year that we're ever going to have.
That's awesome. When do you want to hit $1 million?
I'd like to do that in the next 3 years.
Next 3 years.
Yes,
okay.
and it's not all going to come from just from Pooch Selfie. We've got some other items that we're introducing that are going to help add some variety to the consumer.
Nice. What about these right there, Jason? Two different colors. What is that?
So these are the new next generation product here. Let me show you how this is going to work.
Non-Pooch Selfie related?
No, this is Pooch Selfie,
okay.
But this is something that's been asked for is, hey, I like the product, but I'm actually looking for one that can hold a treat, right?
A treat?
A treat, like a dog treat, and I don't happen to have one in here, but we'll use this pen for just purposes here.
Okay.
It's a molded top, looks like a little doggy, goes on top of your phone, and you're basically putting in a treat into... right there.
Get the dog's attention.
And so if your dog doesn't like tennis balls and happen to like treats, then this is going to work for you.
What's your profit margin?
It's actually less than what you would think because of the spring implementation there, and we're going to sell it with treats. So that's the other part of it. Yeah. Okay. Because this one comes with the ball.
Right.
We want the customer experience to be right out of the package. So it'll actually, and we're working on packaging now, it will actually be presented with treats as a whole starter pack too.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
In terms of marketing, getting the product, Pooch Selfie, out there when you just started, what did you do specifically?
For me, it was all about social media to start with, right? It's the easiest way for anybody with a product to really get out there and start building your brand and start getting not just the word out, but a picturesque view of your product, however it might be presented, either by providing some sort of demonstration of it or really cool marketing pictures that can be put out into the world. Yeah.
What helped Pooch Selfie? Is it Facebook, Instagram? Is it any other platforms? Or today, with how everything's changed,
it is, yes.
What would you focus on or are focusing on?
I think you have to focus on the platform which is getting the most engagement. And today if I were to redo everything, it would be going to TikTok.
What's your advice on how to be a successful e-commerce business owner?
If you're starting from the beginning, use all of the resources you have in front of you, right? It's not always about money, right? It's what are your own skills, and then what are some of the skills that maybe people that want to support you with can help you with, right? Video, graphic design, Facebook marketing, right? Like, don't be afraid to outsource your social media, outsource your Facebook marketing or outsource even some of your packaging design until you learn to do it yourself. And then once you learn to do it yourself, you could bring it in-house. Just the ability to learn and collect those skills is going to help you grow as an entrepreneur.
That makes sense, because clearly you're in an ever-evolving industry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's never going to change. Well, that's a wrap for part 1 of a 2-part series. Thank you guys for watching. One thing that stood out to me is execute, execute, execute. So I want you to execute right now and subscribe to our channel, like this video, and make sure you hit that bell. That way you don't miss any notifications of new episodes coming up. Make sure you watch part 2. It's just as incredible as part 1.